This is Dr. Anastasia Chopelas at scientifichealer.com. Today you're going to hear about how your intuition or subconscious could be blocked and you won't have the right answers. So in other words, your intuition is telling you the wrong thing. And a lot of times we use muscle testing for that. So muscle testing is a way into your subconscious. And some of you have seen some of these techniques, like the double ring technique, where this is a yes and that's a no. And you don't have to really push it as hard as you can. This would be keeping your fingers straight. This is a yes and that's a no. Other people do something called dowsing, or there are lots of other muscle tests, like hold your ring finger stiff and push down on the index finger of your other hand. That's a yes and that's a no. These are the most common two-handed tests. You can also press together, and all you're looking for is the difference. So what if one day you wake up, or like if I wake up and I say, my name is Anastasia, and it comes up a no, like it comes up a no, and it could happen sometimes. So here are several reasons and how to correct them for what's going wrong. So the first thing is, a lot of times you'll wake up in the morning and you're dehydrated, right? Your body has cleaned out all the excess water. So the first thing that you should do is drink some nice, clean, fresh, not fresh, but filtered water in the morning. I get up and I always drink at least a 12-ounce glass, if not more, in the morning, first thing. That helps hydrate you. And there is a muscle test in which you can just pull your hair like this and ask, am I hydrated? And it comes up a yes for me. I drank plenty of fluid today, so I'm good. So that's the first thing, is if you're dehydrated, you could get the wrong answer. The second thing is you may not be grounded. So when you wake up in the morning, a lot of times, especially if you feel a little bit dizzy, that's because you're not quite all the way down into your body. The quickest way to do that is just to straighten your spine up. I do this every morning before I wake up. I'm laying in bed, I straighten my spine up, and then I take some nice deep breaths into my belly and imagine the air going all the way down to my fingers and toes. That corrects this, I'm out of body. It brings me in at the moment. And then the third thing is you may be blocked by something. You may have some energy vestiges from things left over. There are a couple of ways to correct that. One thing that I do every morning is I cut all the cords, because a lot of people depend on me. I'm the matriarch of a big family. I have lots of healing clients. They send me text messages and I send them out energy every day. And sometimes they think of me in the middle of the night and they attach. So I just cut the cords and bring all of them forward from the back and cut the cords and throw them down into the earth. So that cleans you up and gets all the excess energy. And the other thing to do is just to shake your hands out. Just imagine energy coming in from above, shake your hands out, and it will clean everything up. So those are the three body things, but there are also a few mental issues that could keep you blocked. So one of the mental issues that could keep you blocked is that you have an invested interest in the answer being one way or another. I mean, who wants a no answer to, am I allergic to chocolate? Right? So chocolate is a favorite food amongst us women. A lot of men like it too. My husband copped to it this morning, and we like our chocolate, right? I mean, I'm not addicted to it. I could go weeks without it, but if somebody were to ask me vanilla or chocolate for ice cream, I always go for the chocolate. And nobody wants to be allergic to it, and I think hardly anybody is. But if you don't want to be allergic to the chocolate, then you will come up that, am I allergic to the chocolate? And you'll come up with a no, even though it could be a yes. So the thing that I tell my students and clients, especially students who are learning how to do the muscle testing, is that that in order to correct a problem, you have to know that it's there. So whether you are allergic to, let's say, gluten or glutinous grains or milk products, there are ways to correct it. There are energetic ways, and not necessarily energy healing of the kind I do. I mean, I can do it. It just takes a lot longer than if you go to a practitioner whose job it is all day long to clear allergies up, like a NEAT practitioner, NAET, which is the AET stands for Allergy Elimination Technique. And I've had that process done for me, and it works quite well. I still don't eat the foods, but if I get contaminated with it, I don't get sick, right? So in order to stay with a neutral answer, neutral in your own mind, like not being vested, like who wants to be allergic to baklava or to your favorite ice cream? Nobody. So, and a lot of the substitutes aren't so great. Like, how can you make baklava in another way that's not non-allergenic? There is no such way. So you don't want to be allergic to it, and your body will come up, am I allergic to it? And it'll come up a no. So, and I'm definitely not, I don't do well with gluten. So I leave it off, but if I want to eat it, some days I'll wake up and choose to eat it, and I know the consequences. So most of the time I choose not to, like 99.999% of the time I choose not to. So in other words, getting neutral to whether the answer is yes or no will help you solve the problem. Like asking the question, do I have cancer? Nobody wants a yes answer, but in order to make sure that you solve that issue, that is something that you need to address, it's better to know the true answer than to not know, even though it's difficult to hear. But from an energy healing standpoint, knowing it is the first step to getting help for it. And I know a lot of people that survived and thrived well many, many, many years after cancer diagnosis. So it's not something to be afraid of. Okay, so now let's get back to muscle testing. So I told you 4 things. The first is make sure you have enough water. The second is to make sure you're grounded and in your body. And you can always send a grounding cord from the base of your spine. The third is to unblock anything. In other words, anything that's in the way, you can shake it out or run energy through your body. And the fourth is to not be vested in the answer. Okay, so now the next thing is you just can't just start muscle testing and expect it to always be the right answer. Like, I've been doing it for over 25 years. I've done it daily on a daily basis for about the last 7 years and multiple times a day. So I really trust that intuition. And now, before I even test, I can hear the answer, sense the answer, and I know whether it's going to be a yes or a no. And so that's what happens. It's like you start opening the little door to the subconscious, and you're able to connect to that inner all-knowing self. And the reason why I say subconscious is that the conscious mind can only process about 200 bits a second. And the subconscious, it's something like 2 million bits per second. And so that means that we are constantly taking in all that information, and we need to be able to open up that avenue to all those millions of bits per second that we have within us. So we have this all-knowing thing. You can also use a muscle test to see how open you are. Right? So you have, if you ask how open is my heart chakra, you can just go, is it at least 50, at least 60, at least 70, at least 80, at least 90, 95, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it's 98% open today. And that's generally where I keep it, because I do the energetic hygiene to keep it open and flowing. And all your chakras or your energy portals that are in your body, they have a nexus of nerve endings and receptors and so on. So you have one here at the throat, one here at the top, one here at the third eye, front and back, throat, front and back, heart, front and back, solar plexus, front and back, sacral area. But we have thousands of openings. At every single acupuncture point, there's an opening. That's where nexus of nerves comes together. We have major ones on the palms of the hands, on the wrists, elbows, shoulders, hips, knees, ankles, and the soles of the feet, as well as the 7 major ones, one at the spleen. You have the third eye here, and then you have an extra one here and another one there. So there are basically thousands of openings in which we absorb energy from the outside, and we also exude energy from the inside. And that's what makes that energy field that's around us, right? So the muscle testing is this interaction of all of it. Also the pendulum swinging or dowsing, and so on. So by being clear and now practicing. So the first thing that you could do every morning after you drink your water and get grounded is ask yourself, like I would ask, am I Anastasia? And it comes up yes. And if it comes up a no, then I need to shake things out and clear things up, and until it comes up a yes. And now if I ask, is my name Mary? It comes up a no. And if I now ask, am I wearing a pink tutu? It better come up a no. That's a friend of mine told me that's what she asks. And, and so now you've established some yes-no questions. It'll give you a good gauge for whether your answering system is on or off. And now you could ask all kinds of questions, like, is this food good for me? Am I allergic to that food? So it gives you a good idea. It got to a point where I was doing this 25 years ago. I discovered that by going to a naturopathic doctor in Germany, and she started testing me with, putting the arm out and all that. And so I started using a weight and lifting it up, and I used a 10-pound weight. So I was lifting the weight up for I got a yes, and for the time I couldn't, it would be a no. That way I could use the deltoid or indicator muscle that you get tested on at the chiropractor, whether they test with an arm forward or whether they test it with your arm out like that, right? So now I started using a weight, and I'd go to the store and I'd get like a gallon jug of water and try it. And then I thought, well, that's awkward. And I started different hand testing and came up with some, was doing the pressing. The loops I didn't like as much as the pressing, because the pressing is fast, right? So I would test all the foods, and then it got to a point where I could just put my hand on them and I could tell whether it was going to be a yes or a no. So that's another thing you could test. Whether you're allergic to something, it's good to have your hand on it or to put it right at your solar plexus, right along the medial line of your body where there's a lot of energy flow up and down. And if something that you hold there blocks the flow. There's one thing I forgot. There is something called an aura spray. You can get this on Amazon. It's usually some water with a few drops of essential oils, usually lavender and some other things. And when you spray the aura spray on you like this, it just cleans up the energy that's around you. It also smells good, but it cleans the energy up that's around you and lets all that stagnated energy and so on drop away. And that's another way to get your energy field nice and clear so you can be answering the right thing, especially spraying it on your hands. I will use it when I work with people, whether they're in front of me or whether I'm working with them remotely. I'll clean up, I'll wash my hands and spray that on me to clean the energy off. So now you've gotten several different ways to check out how to use your energy. And I've put on there, I have an original muscle testing video on YouTube, and there is a link there. And I'm opening classes to teach not just this, but to teach how it is that I do all of the energy healing. I have my own unique system that's extremely powerful. Usually after 1 or 2 sessions, people are feeling like they haven't felt in years and years. And I need more healers to help me with the people that are coming through and needing help, and I can't possibly help all of them. So I have an appointment calendar link here that you can connect with me and make an appointment to see whether you would, enjoy learning some of it, or even working with me and get clear. Okay, so if you have any questions, please put them in the box. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up rating, share it with your friends, or subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you for listening. This is Dr. Anastasia Chopelas. See you in the next video.